Mrs. Baker again. I'm going to continue working on Chrysanthemum with you. This is the middle of the story. Remember, Chrysanthemum just started school. But when Mrs. Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chudd that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Chudd. Now put your head down. If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, Victoria said, as the students lined up to go home. I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag, and I'm named after a flower. Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome, said her father. Is everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria, as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Chud. Now put your head down. I just cannot believe your name, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Okay, so that was the middle of the story. Now, in the middle of the story, I want you to think about what happens when Chrysanthemum goes to school, okay? So when she goes to school on her first day, before she started school, remember that she loved her name and she felt happy about her name. But when she starts going to school, there are some other characters in the story that are starting to pick on her. Okay, so there's 3 little girl characters. Think about if you can remember their names. Okay, and their names are Joe, Rita, and Victoria. Okay, and they are like, I guess you could say, little bullies to her because they're picking on her name. Okay, and now think about what happens when she goes home. Okay, so the little girls were picking on her, and it made her feel. She said she felt miserable, horrible. Okay, she was feeling dreadful. Those are all words that mean that she felt bad. Okay, so when she went home, think about that. Her parents were there, her mother and her father, and they were telling her that don't worry about it because she was upset about her name. And they told her basically, don't worry about it. They said, your name's beautiful and it's still perfect. Okay. So they made her feel better and they ate with her and played a game with her. And then she had a good dream. And then the next day, when she goes to school again, think about how she's feeling. Okay. So she really didn't want to go to school. On this page, she was taking her time, and it says she walked to school as slowly as she could and dragged her feet. So she really didn't want to go back, but she went. And as soon as she went to school, those 3 little girls again, Victoria, Rita, and Joe, began to pick on her again and make fun of her name. Okay, so she still is not happy about her name at school. Okay, and she's still feeling horrible about it, and she does not think her name is perfect anymore. Okay, so that was the middle of the story. Okay, now next time we're going to work on the end of the story. All right, see you later. Bye.